crazy one for your defense. Again, it seemed like adjustments were made, and that's been kind of a hallmark of what you guys have been able to do is improve in the second half. What was maybe the difference from the first half to the second half for you guys?
You know what I mean? Shoot, you didn't have to even watch the game. Maybe just click on an app and look at the score and tell we didn't get off to a very good start, you know. And it really comes down to just the little things that make a big difference. In terms of just handling responsibilities and leverage, you know, gap control up front, staying within our gaps, and then, you know, at times when things like, you know, we're out of our gaps, linebackers got to be able to make the D-line right and things like that. But and even within the pass game of just, you know, handling and playing our techniques with the proper leverage, you know, and using the help where the help is, when the help's given and things like that. And at halftime, I mean, obviously, given the scenario and the circumstances, the biggest thing was just to settle them down. And there's a whole nother half to play. And the message is that if that happened in the first half, it could happen in the second half going the other way. You know, and the guys came out in the second half, and we were able to change some things up to make some guys a little bit more comfortable. And we were able to get a turnover early in the second half to get some momentum shifted our way and get it rolling. And shoot, fortunate enough to get enough stops in the second half. You know, and those guys battled. The thing about it is they were resilient. You know, and we got a little momentum going, and then we lost it a little, and then they pulled it back in, and you know, we were able to get, like I said, turnover and get some stops on third downs in the first half. We weren't able to get off the field on third downs, which obviously hurts big time in terms of you know, they're not only the pass game but the run game. Then you just get pounded by the run game. You know.
What was the approach with Michael Gallup, and how did it change in the second half? And you know, you had 11 catches, but he only averaged 9.3 yards,
Mm-hmm.
which was one of the lower yards per catch average of his entire career. So I mean, was that kind of I don't know, was it the goal to limit him from doing anything bigger, or and then what adjusted in the second half where we only have one catch for 0 yards?
You know what, not necessarily. I mean, you don't want him going over the top, you know, and you know, the explosive pass plays, so to speak, especially on the outside. But that's what we were trying to limit, is the explosive pass plays and still be able to contend underneath and try to keep, you know, those stick routes from hitting us and moving the chains when we get into second and long positions. We weren't able to do that, though, so we had to adjust some things in the second half to be able to, you know, get us in better position, you know, on third downs and get us the third down alone. And ultimately, a lot of the things he caught underneath moved the chains for him, and that kept us on the field. So we had to make some adjustments, and really, ultimately, we adjust, they adjust. I mean, they got good coaches. As we adjusted, they adjusted, and then we adjusted back, and we ultimately, you know, played with better leverage once we did go back to the initial plan, and we're able to use the help within coverage, you know, use safety help to our advantage, and we're able to get some stops.
What was the thing about Tyler's game that stood out to you? You know, Hart said that, you know, it was a rough first half, but then the second half seemed to be a lot better. And the one time that Gallup had caught the ball, he was able to force him out of bounds for no gain. What were your thoughts on Tyler's game?
Yeah, we didn't get off to a good start. I mean, not only him, but, you know, other guys as well. And when you're playing on offense like that, you got to be clicking on all cylinders. I mean, that's one of the best offenses on the West Coast, in my opinion. They do a phenomenal job. They got personnel. They use their personnel well. The back isn't very big, but we told our guys, I mean, he's going to be one of the most physical runners you're going to see. And so, yeah, T got off to a little bit of a slow start there, obviously, but, you know, the way he battled back showed what he's all about. The second half, he competed. He made some plays when we needed some plays to be made. He held off some deep throws in the end zone, in the red zone. And really, you know, it's a learning experience for everybody. Obviously, starting with me, and we got to make sure that these guys are starting faster within the game, and we have to be able to get ourselves within a rhythm quicker than we have the last few weeks. At this point in the season, there's going to be a bunch of things you got to adjust to within the game, and we've got to be able to get that done quicker, obviously, than what we did last week.
What do you think of the roughing the passer call?
Yeah, it's tough. You know, you got to learn from it. You can't do anything about, you know, how they call or what they're going to do, and it's kind of the way the night went for us in the first half. You know what I'm saying? Like we get a pick six and it gets called back, and there's a perfect example right there of a cover guy using his help and leverage and saying, hey, I'm gonna let this guy run an inside route because I know I got a safety sitting right inside, and then we get it called back. But you know, those are things we got to learn from. You know, you got to stay off the quarterback up high, especially when you're to his face. That's the thing from us studying and trying to help our guys understand how to attack the quarterback and how to finish on the quarterback. When you're to his face, you cannot finish high on the target zone. You have to be within the target zone, which for us is from the numbers and below, is what we teach. If you're anywhere higher than that, you're putting yourself in a position to, you know, have the referees make a call to go against us.
Was that your understanding? He was called for aiming high?
That's the only thing we can see. I don't know. We put in the paperwork. I don't. Once it happens, I'm on to the next. We got to go on to the next, and just, you know, it's out of our control. But I think, you know, from there on out, the guys were. I mean, they're a little hesitant in and around the quarterback. They were, but we got to learn to play and to play fast and physical. And if we stay within the target zone, hopefully we don't have those issues. And it was a tough deal because, you know, he's coming around off an offensive lineman and he got shoved too. You know, just got to be smarter about how we finish. But it was a hell of a play by Keiko, and unfortunately, yeah, nice sideline run. The guys blocked it, did a tremendous job, and that could have been a huge swing for us right there. And we had other opportunities too. I mean, we had other opportunities where we could have capitalized, especially going in right before half. We had an opportunity for another turnover, you know, and we didn't capitalize on it.
You know, it's such a physical game, and I mean, it seemed like there were a lot of bodies rotating in and out throughout that thing. There was one sequence in 3 plays. You went from Leighton Van Der Esch to Riley Limpy to Bruno DeRose. And I mean, from your perspective, I know that it's always like the next man up mentality, but you also try to play to your strengths. And going from Leighton to a third string walk on is quite different. Mm-hmm. So I mean, how crazy was that game in those regards at times?
Yeah, we were. Some of those, you know, we were put in a position we didn't really have a choice. So guys were getting, you know, as the game went on, it was a physical game. Guys were getting banged up. So, you know, as the next man up, the guys prepare like they're the starters each and every week, because you never know. You might be the third string guy, but something happens the first 2 in front of you, it's time to roll. And you know, Bruno got a shot, and I'm sure as he went running on the field, he's from Colorado, he had a smile on his face. And the more and more you guys get to know Bruno and get around Bruno, you won't be surprised that he was ready to roll.
What did you think of Leighton's effort too? I mean,
unbelievable.
He was
yeah.
Noticeably after the game, I mean, he was noticeably probably one of the more emotional guys down there.
I mean, he was exhausted. I mean, the guy played more than we want to play him. You know, like you were tired, and we got a little thin at linebacker throughout the game, and the guy was resilient. You know, the play obviously at the end there causing the turnover to win the game, and then, you know, T being right there, and I think it was Keiko as well. They were both right there on the ball, but Leighton gives it everything he's got every single day, you know, to meetings, start of practice, all the way through the end. And I think for the people that were in and around and on the field the other night, they saw everything he gave, and they could see how visibly tired he was. But the guy's a warrior.
Air Force is always maybe as mentally difficult a team to play for a defense as anybody you play. You throw in the emotions in the late game and how beat up everybody was at the end of that game. How difficult is this week just mentally, physically getting everybody ready to play again on Saturday?
Right, no question. And you know, you don't duck your head when things like this present themselves. You go straight at it, and we all understand. We all understand what we just went through. We all understand where we're at in the season, and we know who we're about to face. And they're a very challenging team. They're extremely. You talk about warriors, man. These guys, they're very tough. They're very smart. They're very disciplined. They do an exceptional job, you know, and we've had a tough time with them. I mean, and so we got a huge challenge this week, and we got to take it one day at a time and prep. That's all you can do, you know, is take care of yourself, take care of your bodies, talk to the guys, get your sleep, get your rest, simplify your lives right now.
Coach Harson's like, no motivation needed, you know, when you played in this week just because of the last couple of years. I mean, it hasn't happened since like the 90s around here, where the teams have beaten you guys 3 years in a row. I mean, how much is that used, or how much does that add to what these guys, want when they play on Saturday? One, obviously, some of these guys, it's their last chance to win against them, for the seniors. I mean, do you have to, how big of a deal is that part of it going into this game?
Well, I think, like you said, we've talked about other teams before that have beat us, and whether it's 1 or 2 years, and really, I mean, I'm sure that adds some fuel to the fire, but where we're at right now, and, each and every week is important, and we gotta come with some urgency to get it done, and it can't just happen, obviously, on game day. That urgency has to be now. It has to be in our prep. The focus has to be there, and ultimately, that will give us a shot, to get this done. But it's that time of the season. I'm sure, all the teams out there right now are going through the same things that we are. It's, it's late in the season. Guys are tired. Guys are banged up. That's football. That's the beauty of it.
What do you see from the offense this year in Air Force? And it's been pretty similar, I guess, each year. But what do you see from them this year? And Worthman, that quarterback, seems like he's been pretty damn good for them.
Yeah, he's done a really good job. Obviously they're triple option, but they could come at you in different ways and run in the triple option with different sets and different backfields. And I think he's done a nice job. Worthman has done a nice job in the pass game. They've added some concepts that are going to be difficult that they've got guys on this year. So it's going to be a huge challenge for us. It's going to take an extreme amount of discipline from our guys and focus.
Tyler had a high school coach who died on Saturday. Did he know that before the game? Did you guys find out, or how do you kind of handle a situation like this? Something like that happens, on game day?
Yeah, it's tough. That's really tough. That's the thing. These guys, they got lives too. It's not just football. It's not just what we see on the game field and all that. There's outside lives that affect these guys, and there's school that affects them. There's a lot of other things that go on besides what we just see on the football field, and that's a tough deal. Feel for T, but really, I think one of the best things he could do, is come back and finish that game the way he did, and hopefully, we could help T through the situation and give him the strength and help him work towards, handling the situation.
Did you guys find out before the game? Talk to him about it beforehand, or how do you kind of deal with that?
Yeah, I mean that's all personal stuff and all that, but yeah, some of the coaches knew before the game.
I think so.
Yeah.